The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization has presented a 300-page report on coconut value chain analysis to the Lagos State government. The Assistant Food and Agriculture Organization representative to Nigeria, Mr. Suleiman Abubakar, presented the report to the Lagos State government on behalf of the FAO and UNIDO. Take a look.
Coconuts, an edible fruit that can be eaten fresh, dried or processed as coconut milk or oil. It's high in manganese, essential for bone health and metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and cholesterol. The fruit is also rich in copper and iron, which becomes useful in the formation of red blood cells, among other benefits. In Lagos, it's not just rice production that's receiving attention of the government. Coconut is also on the priority list. That's the reason officials of the State Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization converged on GRA Ikeja for the presentation of the Coconut Value Chain Report.
In theory, we've disaggregated the strategy into 5 components. There is a component that improved operationalization of the actors within the space of the value chain, particularly in terms of organizational, economic and financial management, because that's one of the key components and part of the main finding of the report. There is also the second component, which talks about improving productivity of the producers themselves, taking into account the problems that I have just highlighted about. That's the second component. I just listed the output here. And then the third component is about improving the productivity of the processors as well. While the fourth component is about building capacities of LASCODA as an agency, the only agency that has the mandate to promote development of the coconut sector. An institutional gap assessment as part of the value chain analysis for LASCODA has been undertaken, both in terms of technical, operational, and organizational mandate of LASCODA. And we believe that without enabling environment to drive the investment being led by LASCODA, it would be unrealistic for the investment to make meaningful, changes.
The 300-page document put together by the state government, FAO and UNIDO is to upgrade the strategy proposal for the development of coconut value chain in the state.
We would need to work harder towards showcasing that there's a lot of value within this sector. It's not just by saying it or putting it to paper. It's also about showcasing it in a way that when we make the loudest noise, people will have no choice but to turn around and ask us, what do we want? So it's a case of numbers. So when things are being done, let's say in the Badagry axis, do we have coconut farmers coming out? Do we have processors coming out? Are we showcasing ourselves enough that we give attention and we create the attention that we desire? Those are some of the things that we need to put into the frame. Like I said also, with regards to this report, it covers 6 salient factors that you find anywhere else also in any agri value chain. One is capacity building. We know the number of farmers we have in the coconut belt, but we know we need to increase these farmers because we have aging trees, we have shortfalls here and there, and we need to ramp up the production capacity as quickly as possible. Number 2 will be on financing. We know that there are issues surrounding financing in agriculture generally, not to talk of coconuts, which a lot of banks will look at as, why should I invest in this? And also because of the long gestation period for the coconut tree. Number 3 will be partnerships, as I said, with multilateral agencies, donor agencies, and even the private sector. So we have partnerships already established, but we need to do much more. Also with regards to market linkage, there's so much to be done. Market linkage is actually one of the biggest challenges. Once you are able to sort out issues relating to market, automatically at the backward end, you'll see more people getting into producing, and the processing will definitely follow. So with the market linkage, it is hoped that with more collaborations within the space, with more openness and also with more diversity, particularly around how marketing can be done, we'll be able to establish better cooperation and linkages that would help processors and producers.
And the State Coconut Development Authority is excited about the report because it will help in the area of production, processing, and commercialization.
The report is about Nigeria. When you're talking of coconut, it's about Nigeria because in the report we captured some what we call satellite environment when it comes to coconut, because there's no way Lagos State will operate coconut value chain that we are not going to operate to part of Ogun State, even part of Ondo and Oyo State, because we have a lot of processors that their market basically is in Lagos State. So in terms of implementation of the report, the implementation have started. Let me say point blank that the report will not gather dust. And the Mr. Governor is very, very interested in seeing the project through. You may recall when you go through the report, it's going to be a 10-year project. And we are starting now. In fact, this report that we did, this inception report that we are submitting, is part of the project. It's just as it is the baseline to give us the direction. We just don't want to be implementing without knowing the direction. So it's being implemented already, because in terms of capacity building, in terms of a lot of things, it's being done already. So, but in real time, we are going to start all those things with the other international donors. There will be agreement, formal agreement, which will be done in a matter of weeks' time. And once we have that, we will start implementing the project. And again, when you look at the project, what Lascoda has been doing already, we've been creating platform so that the project will not going to start in ground zero. So we have done a lot of capacity building of the stakeholders, a lot of training of the stakeholders. So we are not starting at ground zero, and I tell you, the project has started in real time.
With the presentation of the Coconut Value Chain Analysis Report, Lagos State is set to create more awareness on planting of the fruit to ensure it is sufficient to create jobs and also increase the state's gross domestic product.